Coming up live, this exclusive ABC Sports presentation is being brought to you by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated of St. Louis, brewers of Budweiser, the king of beers. When do you say Budweiser? That's the scene live, Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, Nevada. And Dionne Warwick, one of the many stars in attendance here tonight. You've met some of them. Frank Sinatra was with us. Muhammad Ali was with us. He's just put on a big show in the ring. And you saw the juxtaposition of film. Jimmy Young and Sylvester Stallone. And Jimmy Young is starting to make his way from his dressing room down to the ring. A packed house. Hal Linden. Hello, Barney Miller. Good to have you aboard. The place has the atmosphere of a heavyweight championship fight. And indeed, it's 15 rounds, and the World Boxing Council has rendered an edict to Muhammad Ali, which tonight, at this microphone, before these cameras, Muhammad Ali said he would pay no heed to. He will not sign to fight the winner of tonight's fight within 60 days, as the president of the World Boxing Council wants him to do. Red Fox right there. Saw him arriving early. A rabid boxing fan. He's been around the boxing beat for years, has owned fighters, and he had his own dream of having a heavyweight champion. Here comes Jimmy Young. Feeling strong now. That's the way the music went. Rocky, and Jimmy Young says he couldn't be feeling stronger. He weighed in at 213 today. Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, Nevada. We await the start of Norton against Young. You look at the tail of the tape. The age edge goes to Jimmy Young. The weight edge only 2 pounds different, though Norton looks so much bigger. The height difference, very slight too. The reach difference, virtually non-existent. Chest expansion, Norton with a mild edge. They have similar waists. Okay for that. This fight will be scored on a 10-point must-scoring system. Unlike the 2 prior fights, which were 5-point must, and that's the state method here in Nevada, because this is a WBC sanctioned heavyweight elimination fight scheduled for 15 rounds. The WBC rules apply. A 10-point must system in order. The 3 knockdown rule has been waived. Mandatory 8 count, no saving by the bell, except after the 15th round, when the fight will have automatically ended. The referee will be Carlos Padilla. Oh, there's Ali still carrying on. Cut the jacket off now. It's funny. He knows he's on camera. And his histrionics never cease. And you should have heard the crowd here earlier screaming, Ali, Ali, much as was the case in Kinshasa, Zaire, before that night against George Foreman. No, don't take the money out. No betting allowed, Muhammad. Go back to the casino for that. The judges who will be scoring the fight are Art Lurie, Jimmy Rondeau, and Ray Baldiru. Ringside doctor is Dr. Donald Romeo. The timer is Joe Swesser. Carlos Padilla, the referee, will control the fight within the ring as finally they are taping on Kenny Norton's gloves. Jimmy Young is now having the glove put on his right hand. That's Kenny Norton as you look at the left hand there.
As assigned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, the judges are Lurie, Jim Rondeau, and Raymond Baldiru. The referee, Carlos Padilla. This bout will be scored under the 10-point must system and is sanctioned by the World Boxing Council. 15 rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division. Introducing, in the red corner, hailing from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing 213 pounds, the number 2 heavyweight in the world, Jimmy Young. In the blue corner, weighing in at 215½ pounds, fighting out of San Diego, California, the number 1 heavyweight in the world, Ken Norton.
So the ring introductions. Now referee Carlos Padilla and the instructions to the fighters. him up on Mike. Inevitably, there is tension. No matter how great a fighter you are, no matter perhaps even the expected strength of the opponent, there is always worry. There is always tension. There is an undercurrent of most fighters feel exactly that way. We are now awaiting the bell for the start of the fight, and there it is. That's it. A delay in coming out. The fighters did not hear the bell. Quickly, they are in ring center. Now, see that back foot of Kenny Norton's? That delimits his movement, his ability to move around, to the left, to the right, and yet it's effective against Ali. Jimmy Young, looking cautious. The leads are expected to come from Kenny Norton. Just the start of things. First round action. In the first fight tonight, Sugar Ray Leonard looked impressive, stopping the Mexican Augustin Estrada. The second fight, Jerry Quarry stopped Lorenzo Zanone, coming from nowhere to do it in a simply terrible fight. Zanone scored almost at will with his left all the way. Jerry, quite frankly, in his comeback effort, looked like a sack of flour. But suddenly, Zanone fell from what appeared to be glancing blows. But this is first round action. Norton to the left of your screen, Young to the right, in the white trunks. For a minute and 20 seconds into the first round. He said he would go to the belly. He gets to the belly, weaken the fighter, the head must follow. That's Kenny's theory. Big overhand right that failed to connect by Kenny Norton. Young's the kind of fighter whom it's difficult to score in a fight. Kenny with a quick left. He makes the opponent usually look bad. Kenny again missing with the right. Kenny says he kicked Young out of his training camp. Young says, no, the story's not true. Jimmy was Kenny's sparring partner before Kenny's second fight against Ali. We've got about 30 seconds left in a very uneventful round one. The lead moves being made by Norton, but nobody really doing anything. Norton again missing with the right. There you saw Young with the quick counter-punching combination. That's the Young style. Kenny with the left. Lower right-hand corner of your screen. You see us counting down to the end of round one. Round two just underway. We're live from Caesars Pass, Vegas, Nevada. Schedule 15 rounder. Kenny Norton, the left of your screen. Jimmy Young, the right. The first round, uneventful. Feeling out process. Scoring even. No edge really to either fight. Though Kenny did most of the leading, a quick flash of counterpunching by Jimmy, but no damage done by either man. Kenny trying to use what he thinks is superior body strength on the inside to maul Jimmy Young. Still looking for the surprise that Jimmy Young was talking to me about in the interview. Up early. We're 1 minute into round two. Maybe the surprise is that Kenny Norton hasn't come out bombing. In discussing this fight with Jerry Quarry, Quarry said to me, Howard, the thing will be decided in the first 3 rounds. Norton will come out bombing. If he can't put Young away, he's in trouble. Norton has not come out bombing. For some real action. be looking a long time, based upon style. There's Jimmy with the right to the belly, the left to the head, and the counter punching. What Norton has to look out for. Jimmy getting in with the left. Makes you look bad. Well, a tight fight. Right there. Scoring with the counter punch. Kenny may have been hurt just a bit with those blows. May have been. 45 seconds left in round 2. Young ties Norton up. Pinioned against the ropes, Norton coming at him. Young ties him up. Young knows all the tricks. Maybe he's not a boxer, but a mover, as Kenny Norton distinguished the two. But look at Kenny Young right there. He knows what he's about within the 4 corners of a ring. Clever fighter. We approach the end of round 2. We'll have a commercial break. Round 3 just underway. Kenny Norton, the blue trunks, is back to you. Jimmy Young, the white trunks. Second round, I gave a slight edge to Jimmy Young. At one point, he appeared to have stung Norton with combinations, and that seemed to be confirmed as Norton shook his head while in his corner. Bill Slayton, the trainer, working in Norton's corner with Enoch Yip on cuts, Eddie Jones and Al McClure over there. Carlos Padilla, the third man in the ring, breaking up the clinch between Norton and Young. Young's corner is manager Ray Kelly, Wally Perkins' trainer. Mickey Grandinetti on the top. Right there, with a good right lead and then a left in combination. An opposite combination. And Norton seems stung again. Norton confused about how to handle Jimmy Young. He is really a confusing fighter to the opponent, Jimmy Young. Young is not confounded, at least up to this point, by the Norton style, the way Muhammad Ali has been through 3 fights. In fact, Young capitalizes on Norton's absence of movement to the left and right, as you just saw. Now you see Young again. Tactically, this is an interesting fight. It may not be in terms of action, but it's interesting tactically. Kenny trying to get into the body exactly as he told us he would. But Young with the right uppercut. Young missing there. That quick flashing left of Jimmy's. Kenny pursuing, flagging that back foot. Young going down to the midsection. Young with the left jab, flicking. Sticking all the time, moving around now. Walking away, using the 20-foot ring. Young again with the right lead. Kenny is keeping his left low, as you can see there, lays him open for the right lead. Yes, Jimmy Young knows how to fight. Kenny Norton's a tough customer. Long way to go. Remember, Foreman came from nowhere in the 7th round and had Young ready to go. Couldn't capitalize, had him ready to go. Norton can do the same thing. Norton with the left. Norton now beginning to try to unload. Counting down. So at the end of the 3rd round, we'll have another commercial break. Round 4 just underway. Slight mouse developing under Kenny Norton's left eye. Kenny registering some of his confusion to Bill Slayton, his trainer, between rounds. Kenny crouching, coming at Young, trying to get to the stomach. right. He did not. The blow at best grazed Jimmy Young, but produced crowd reaction. Kenny growing more aggressive. And the right landed. And it sent Norton back. Another right. Kenny is keeping that left glove much too low. He's leaving himself open for the right. Kenny going at Young. But again, Young tying him up. Kenny looking more effective than he really is. See how low that left is? The right is up, tucked under the chin, but the left is there. It's a quick left to cut in another. The third was picked off by Kenny's glove. Jimmy is keeping that right cocked, finding a target. It's become an effective weapon. We're in the fourth round. Scheduled 15-rounder that could well go that far unless Norton can connect. Or unless, as Jimmy Young put it in the pre-fight interview, he can bust Norton up. It's not the truth figure to knock Kenny out. Although he did floor George Foreman. A left lead, the right to the midsection, another right to the midsection, and that's what he's working on. Then Kenny covered up with the gloves in front of the face. Again to the belly and scoring with it. And again to the belly. Jimmy Young with the quick combination. And another. The action picks up in this round. We're counting down to the end of the round. Kenny coming upstairs with the left and getting it in, jabbing left. Not powerful, but scoring. Kenny Norton, who's a tough cookie. Coming to the end of round 4. Live, Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, Nevada, round number 5. Young against Norton. A tactical fight thus far. I've scored it just subjective, personal. 2 rounds for Young, 1 round for Norton, and 1 round even. Kenny came on in the 4th round. He'd been a frustrated, confused fighter, or so it seemed to me, but he started scoring to the midsection. He just landed a good left jab. In the 4th round, he started making his battle plan work with blows to the body. Started getting more aggressive. He did not come out bombing at the start of the fight. He told us, you'll remember, that he knows Young can hurt. That right missed. It brought crowd reaction, but it missed. Strange fighter, Jimmy Young. So difficult to score a fight that he is fighting. Because he is not an offensive fighter. At the end of this round, we're going to try to give our stations a station break. We'll watch developments in the round. Kenny off balance. Young making a kind of scornful motion. Norton missing wildly and off balance. But Young didn't capitalize on it. He laid back in his manner and made that motion you saw. Kenny up there with the left jab. Right lead. Again, that Norton left down by his stomach. Right there, though, Norton came back and landed with his own right and left. And Norton going to the midsection. Norton falling with that left. We've got 50 seconds to go. Norton very much the aggressor now, though he missed. And Jimmy back with the counterpunch. Crowd yelled, but Jimmy did not connect with the right. He did connect to get in several lefts. You must not judge these blows by crowd reaction. Counting down, the lower right-hand corner of your screen. This is the 5th round. Young was hurt by Kenny Norton. No question about it. Kenny pursuing. Young holding on. Kenny coming on strongly. We'll be back with more exclusive coverage of the Norton-Young heavyweight fight after this from our local stations. Oh, how Kenny Norton came alive in that 5th round. His battle plan beginning to work. Scoring to the belly and then coming up with a left to Young's right jaw. That really hurt Jimmy Young, though he didn't go down. You could see he was hurt. So now, 6th round action. You can almost see Kenny Norton growing in confidence. And Young, who didn't expect to be beat up on, is getting beat up on with that blow to the midsection. The right side of his belly, and he's beginning to feel it. How those blows accumulate. Punishment. There's a right by Jimmy Young. Didn't land squarely, or rather by Kenny Norton. Didn't land squarely, but hit Young on the left jaw, down near the neck. Jimmy sticking to his scheme, trying to keep away from Norton. Flash the counter-punching combinations. Kenny Norton seems to be making his plan work. At least at this point in time in the fight. See Kenny going down to the belly. Left. Hit Young. And then Young came back with a counter right. Norton with all kinds of confidence, feeling Young can hurt him. Young more cautious than ever. Flicking left jab. 3 in a row. Kenny hunched over. Working toward the belly again. And looking to go upstairs with his more powerful punches. This is 6th round action. Kenny covered well on those blows. Picked them off. Kenny with his own left, but it only grazed. Kenny with that right lead to the left side of Young's belly, and then he went upstairs with the left. The left did not score, but the right did. Again, a right and a left to Young's stomach. Another right and a left, and I'll tell you that right hurt. Now, he had Young in the corner, came upstairs with the right. It did not score effectively, but his idea is right. He is fighting a tactically sound fight, Kenny Norton. It's beginning to work out for him. But we're only in the 6th round. It's a scheduled 15-rounder. He picked off that right, Young did, of Norton's. We're going to stay with the fighters, this time between rounds. And that's the end of round 6. Jimmy Young seems to be feeling the impact of Norton's body blows. And Norton is beginning to get to Jimmy Young's head. As you look at Jimmy Young, they're working over him in the corner. He's getting instructions right now from Ray Kelly. Norton, in the meantime, is a different Kenny Norton from the first 3 rounds. What he seemed a confused, befuddled fighter. Kenny is standing, not even sitting in his jab. We're awaiting action in the 7th round. There have been no knockdowns, but once in the 5th round, Norton came through with a crunching left that connected on Young's right jaw, and you could see that Young was hurt. Young hung in there as he did against George Foreman when Foreman had him ready to go in the 7th round of their bout. Now the bell, round 7. Out comes Kenny Norton. That back foot, but coming straight ahead, cutting off the ring on Jimmy Young. Jimmy Young with his most effective punch of the night so far, the right counter, with Norton's left held low. See Norton with that right to the belly? That's taking its toll. Now a left to the belly. After that, hoping that Young's guard is down, Kenny comes upstairs. That left was picked off, though the crowd reacts. This fight scheduled for 15 rounds. Why? The WBC used it as a possible championship fight, having ordered Ali to sign to fight the winner within 60 days. Ali says he won't do that. We'll see what happens in that regard. But right now, the fight. 7th round action. Not a mark on Jimmy Young. Not even on the stomach. Oddly, one would think there'd be some welts. Kenny with 2 quick left jabs. Padilla breaks the fighter. Though the crowd roared. Young scored well on that exchange with the right. Kenny, perfect. Operating. Came in with 2 flicking left jabs, missed with the right. But Kenny, always the aggressor. Look at Kenny go after. See the way that back foot always lagging or in the bucket? But oddly, we haven't seen a lot of foot movement from Jimmy Young tonight. I suppose that was the surprise. Against Ali, danced on his toes. The full benefit of the ring. Only once tonight have we seen him walking away, moving away from Norton, and using the whole 20 feet of the ring effectively. Again, 7th round action as we count down toward the end of the round. We'll follow Kenny Norton to his corner at the end of this round. Kenny getting those body blows in there still. Round 8 coming up. We're live from Las Vegas, Nevada. While Norton has been scoring in the recent rounds, in truth, this has not been a great action fight. It's been a more interesting tactical fight. Now let's see if Young can start to come on, if there's any tiring by Norton. No, Kenny is pursuing. Kenny scored with a right to the belly. Kenny with a right lead that went nowhere. Getting the left in against Young. Kenny again to the midsection. He is really pummeling Jimmy's belly. Not getting through. They were picked off, but Norton remains the aggressor. Norton is not getting the counter-punching openings that he wants. Or if he is, he's not able to capitalize on them. And he must be feeling the effects of that punishment to the midsection. He has to be. Jimmy Young supporters, Jimmy Young. There, he has Norton in the corner, but he's not getting through Norton's guard either. Quick flurry of combinations, but he didn't get through Norton's gloves. Well, Kenny didn't disguise his battle plan. Said he was going to do exactly what he's doing. Keep working to that midsection as he did with that right. Again with the right. And again with the right. No headhunting by Kenny Norton, only occasionally. Young pawing with the left. Counting down to the end of round 8. Hunched over, Kenny Norton not providing an open target for Jimmy Young. fighting him effective. Coming to the end of round 8. From Las Vegas, Nevada. An increasingly confident Kenny Norton, feeling he can't be hurt by Jimmy Young, executing his battle plan exactly as he perceived it. Ripping Young with rights, principally to the midsection. A left there, another left there, and then up with the left. And another long left to the midsection. It's hard to measure how Young feels under the impact of the punishment he has taken to the stomach in this fight. But the accumulative impact has to be, it seems to us, great. In the meantime, Norton, with that head tucked in against the chest, fighting from a crouch, is effectively preventing Jimmy Young from using his counterpunching style. There's Norton up to the head. Young with a right leg, then a left. Look at Norton go to the belly. And then as Young tries to get at Norton's head, Kenny has his head tucked into Norton's chest. Good right by Young, right there. Norton felt that. Good left by Kenny. Young is going to have to, since we're up to the 9th round, fight more aggressive. Young registers dismay with Carlos Padilla, the official, who warned him not to hold on to Norton. With the arm around the head. Norton missing with a left. Young trying to be more aggressive in this round. Both fighters taking a breather in effect with their clinch. They're both beginning to feel a bit tired now. Good right lead by Norton. And the left got up to Young's nose. And Kenny goes back to working on the belly. Norton missing with the right, scoring, but only mildly with the left. Rather Young. Young with a good right. Counting down to the end of round 9. Good left in there, and another by Norton. Now he's getting that left through the head, and he goes right back to the midsection with that right. Kenny fighting a very intelligent fight and making it work. Round 10 underway. It's 11:30 in the East. Over most of those Eastern stations, your local news will probably be coming up at the end of this fight. And it's been, as I said, an absorbing fight tactically. Kenny Norton, after 3 disappointing for him rounds in the very beginning, making his battle plan work to a nicety, leveling Jimmy Young with an attack to the midsection and gradually beginning to get to Jimmy Young's head, but really mauling Young with body punishment. At least that's the way we subjectively see this fight. Young right there with a good right leading in the left. And Norton was hurt. Again, Norton keeping that left low. And Young got in 3 rights, a couple of lefts, and Norton was hurt. There's another right. Jimmy Young the aggressor now. And Norton feeling the impact. Watch Young. This is where his astuteness as a boxer comes into play. Not to leave himself open, not to get reckless, but to pick the opponent apart if he can. Norton fighting back. Going right back to that midsection with his own right. But suddenly, Jimmy Young becomes the man scoring in this round. It is the 10th round. Again, Young with the right lead over Norton's left. Jimmy missing with the right. Padilla, third man in the ring, breaks the fighters. Young with a couple of left jabs that don't get through. Norton picks them off with his right. He's got his right up in front of his face. or at least his face tucked over that right. You see him covering. Crowd reacted to that, but they were mistaken. 10th round action. Right there, Kenny with another right to the midsection. But in this round, with 45 seconds left, Young suddenly comes to life, completely dominant, hurting Norton with the right. Norton pawing with the left. Young's eyes look a little red, a little glazed. But he certainly has fought a purposeful round here. Trying to keep Kenny off. Padilla keeps looking at Young's eyes very closely. We're going to follow Young back to his corner as the ring. All right. Now watch Young. There's the right that got to Kenny, then a left. Kenny felt that right. He was stung by it, and another right. And you saw the legs buckle just a touch. And so Young assumed command of that round. There's Kenny quickly becoming aggressive. This is the 11th round. Young just shook his head as if to say, I don't understand it. I can't do with you what I want to do with you. Let's see if Kenny starts going back to the stomach. There's a segment of the crowd here that keeps chanting, Jimmy Young, Jimmy Young. This bout. 11th round action. Norton going to the midsection. Jimmy Young, more aggressive himself. That left got in there, as you saw. Those Norton blows picked off. Young covering, but Norton must be scoring on grounds of aggression. Remember, 10-point must system. Scoring done by 3 judges, not by the referee. Kenny with a quick left. Young's left jab getting in, not once, but thrice. Kenny going back downstairs. Did not score well. Was not well placed. Counting down to the end of the 11th round. End of the round coming up. Back live, Las Vegas, Nevada, 12th round coming up. Norton appearing to be the fresher, stronger fighter at this point, appearing to be. And yet Young had a good round in the 10th and may have been scored the winner of the 11th round. Subjective scoring is what governs a fight, and this could be a very close one since Young dominated in the first 3 rounds. What's these two? Still, Young went back slowly to his corner after the last round. Norton, there, right to the belly again. Young getting annoyed. break. No word from referee Padilla, however. Once Kenny Norton had a hypnotist. That was before his first fight against Ali. After that, when he broke Ali's jaw and beat him, he dropped the hypnotist. Maybe he should have kept to hypnotize the officials on his next two fights against Ali. But not in need of a hypnotist now. Kenny covered well against Young's right with his own right hand up above his head. Round action. There's Norton doing what he did back in the third round. Young suddenly going to the midsection himself, and then a right to the head that Kenny felt. Tell you one thing, Ali is no longer clowning. He is a serious onlooker of this fight now. He's right between the fighters, as you could see a second ago. And Jimmy Young is not having a bad round here in the 12th. Suddenly, Young's eyes look alive, alert. And Norton has stopped going to the midsection with the frequency that he was manifesting throughout the middle rounds. We're counting down to the end of the 12th round, a scheduled 15-rounder, and a good round for Jimmy Young. We're going to stay with the fighters at the end of this round and follow Kenny Norton to his corner. That's it. The bell for round 13. I thought we'd see a lot more movement from Jimmy Young in this fight than we did, or have up to this point. And maybe we didn't see the body movement expected because Norton's body punches took so much out of him. You can't measure that from ringside. You'd have to be the man in the ring. I call a 20-foot ring a good-sized ring. Step into it sometime and see how small it seems. How do you ever escape the other man? Kenny looking to go back downstairs. This is the 13th round. Two good heavyweights. Two men who knew their business. Two men who dream of becoming the heavyweight champion of the world. Two men, neither of whom Ali says he wants to fight, at least at this time, and that's what he told us tonight. Jimmy Young, headhunter. Kenny's blows picked off by Jimmy Young's right glove. Kenny Norton's blows picked off by Jimmy Young's right glove. Young scoring with the left. Again with the left. 13th round action. A minute, 15 seconds left in the round. Funny, Kenny has stopped going to the midsection with all the frequency and effectiveness he showed in the middle rounds. Kenny up to the head with two quick lefts. Young with a quick combination and another. From a slight mouse under the left eye, Norton appears substantially unmarked. Counting down to the end of a relatively uneventful round, the 13th round. Young Young tying Norton up effectively and himself trying to come back to the body. End of the round on its way. For the 14th round, coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada, Caesars Palace. It appears on the surface now with Young having a rally in the recent rounds to be a very close fight. We can't speak for the judges. You can score it for yourself at home. Young right there with a good left. There have been no knockdowns in this bout. Once I thought we might have one back in the 5th round when Norton scored with a crunching left to Young's right jaw. But no, Jimmy didn't go down. At one point, Jimmy seemed a tired fighter with glazed eyes. But he's come back from that. In the middle rounds, Norton... Oh, there's Young going down the midsection. The middle rounds, Norton belabored Young incessantly to the stomach. But seemed to be taking a lot out of Young. Yet Young has come off better in the recent rounds. Made a comeback. Or so it seems to us at ringside. So it's a confusing fight to score, as it almost always is when Jimmy Young is fighting. I think Young was hurt by a Norton right to his side. I believe he was hurt. Oh, those blows have an impact. They affect your kidneys when they're on the side like that. But Jimmy right there with a flashing combination. Counter-punching effective. So it's up again and down again. This is the 14th round. It's the scheduled 15 rounder. Jimmy working on Norton's head. Norton without much of any movement at the moment. Appearing tired. Look at that. But Jimmy not capitalizing. Jimmy staying off. Young is coming to life. In either case, these are two fine fighters. There's Jimmy with a little kind of trot. Norton trying to go to the midsection, but Young picking off the blows. The crowd is now yelling, Jimmy Young. Jimmy head-hunting and scoring. Again, Jimmy to the head. Almost to the end of the 14th round. And Jimmy Young is very much alive. In those middle rounds. Now the two touch gloves. The 15th and final round. The issue, so far as we can see, in doubt. Each fighter wanting to leave the officials with the memory of a big final round. That's what Norton failed to do in his last fight against Ali. And by the precepts of the referee that time, Arthur McCanny, that's what lost him the fight. So Kenny doesn't want to make that mistake again. He wants to dominate this final round, and he is punching. Norton covering up against the, or Young covering up against the ropes. Norton punching away to the midsection the way he did in the middle round. Kenny wanting to leave a big impression. That was a low blow. There's a left and a right to the stomach, up to the head. Young just covering. Young not doing much fighting in this, the 15th and final round. I think Young was hurt by that succession of blows to the stomach. Kenny is really working this final round. Young substantially inactive so far in this round. Kenny drawing upon every last resource. He looked the part of a tired fighter. Now, Young suddenly connects to the head. He looked the part of a tired fighter in the 14th, but look at him now, throwing leather, wanting to clean up on Jimmy Young in the fight. But now Jimmy starts to counterpunch the way he so suddenly can and does. And he's got Norton covering. The crowd on its feet, cheering now for Jimmy Young. And the other half of the crowd on its feet and cheering for Kenny Norton. And they both deserve all the credit in the world. 1 minute left to go in this fight. Basically fought tactically by Norton the way he wanted to. And now Jimmy Young is dominating the round. He's coming on in the second half of this round with his counterpuncher. And Norton's head the target. So, as I said, it's shifting tides and ebb and flow, and you've got to make your own judgment in the subjective scoring of a fight. That's what the judges will do. Less than a half minute left, and Jimmy Young throwing the punches. Now Kenny Norton coming back at him. We're counting down to the end of this bout. They are both tired now. Begins to clap and stand, and there will be an ovation for these two fighters as the fight ends. We await the decision. I turn it over to Chris Schenkel as I go into ring center to talk with the winner.
All right, thank you very much, Hal.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision. Judge Ray Balderus scores 147-143, Norton. Judge Art Lurie scores 144-142, Young. Judge Jim Rondeau scores 147-143, Norton, the winner by a split decision.
And so Kenny Norton has won a split decision. Jimmy, I know how terribly disappointed you are. Have Jimmy for a moment. I know how terribly disappointed you are. I dislike having to talk to you at such a moment. You felt you had it won, Jim.
Yes, I did.
He seemed to follow his battle plan to go to your midsection. All right, here are the two fighters. Well, congratulations to you, Kenny, on the victory. Jimmy, I want to congratulate you on a fine fight. Even though the decision on a split basis went against you, I think you proved all over again to the American people you've been one of the most underrated fighters of recent years. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
I don't want to bother you anymore. You're too disappointed. And so, Jimmy Young, the disappointed loser. Kenny Norton, the close split decision winner. Let's go back to Chris Schenkel at ringside. It's been an exciting tactical fight. It became an exciting action fight, too. Chris?
Undoubtedly one of the salient points, aggressiveness, won it for Norton. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.